Alright, so it's been a while since I've made a video. One of the things I've added to my game is the ability for the character to move based on his stamina and health value. That way I can get rid of the stamina bars and health bars in the game. Granted, the bars make it a little more obvious what your health is and what your stamina is. I just wanted to conserve some screen real estate and, I don't know, give it a little more realism. So this is kind of what it looks like, right? So we're going to jump, hit the ground, take some damage, and depending on how much damage we have, he's going to go from this injured walking / running state back to blending to a normal walking / running state. And as you can tell by the blood on the screen is starting to fade away. He's starting to get a little more healthy, and now he's going back to his regular run. Stamina works the same way except with idle. So let's get him running. Get him nice and tired. And what's going to happen when he idles is he's going to be out of breath, right? So let's see him be out of breath. He goes into idle. There he goes. He's in his out of breath state. And as he rests, you're going to see him come back to a state where he's back to his normal idle state. Here you go. Alright, so let's see how to do that. You can slow it up, speed it up or slow it down however you want. It all depends on your stamina recovery value. Alright, so let's take a look and see how to do this. Alright, so what we start out with in the shooter melee is an animation controller that looks like this, right? So you've got your moveset ID, you've got your idles, and ultimately we want to look here at your turn left, walk straight, turn right. Don't worry about this. That's old. And then the same thing here. Run left, run straight, right, all the same. Okay? But in order to do this, what we need to do is, to have this effect, what we need to do is create this tree. Don't worry, it's not as complicated as it looks because it's really not complicated. Looking at the run, we'll go back and look at the run. What I've ultimately done here, all you need to do really is replace the run animation with this blend tree, with one blend tree. Right? And so what you're going to do is, let's take a look at this run. I'm going to add a blend tree. And then in place of this run, we are going to put the blend tree. Alright, and we're going to delete the run. Okay, so now off of this blend tree, this is going to be our standard run blend tree. And here we're going to add two motions. One is going to be for the exhausted or the damaged side of things, and the other one is going to be for just the normal case, the normal run. Okay, to do this though, we need two parameters. I'm not going to do it here. We need two parameters. We need these two parameters, a health value and the stamina value, and those are going to be pulled from the standard character controller, third-person character controller health and stamina values. Pretty straightforward. I'll show you the code. Alright, so we are going to take that run animation again, turn it into a blend tree, and it's going to be a 1D blend type. Okay, and all you're going to have is an injured and a standard run, and it's important that the injured is at position 0 and the run is at position 1. I'll show you why later. So it'll look like this. The more injured we get, the more we go into this, our injured run. So basically all you have to do with this is modify the sprint the exact same way, the walk the exact same way. I don't really use walk, so I didn't modify it. And then as far as the idle is concerned, what it did is just take the idle, right? I don't use any of these idle states, and usually I'm just in moveset ID 1. So all I really did is you right click and turn it into this thing right here, right? So it also is a blend tree originally, right? And so you just change it to a 1D blend tree, this time based on your stamina value. So your idle is based on your stamina value, and your run and your sprint are based on your health value. Alright, if that makes any sense. If not, slow it down, ask for clarification, whatever. Alright, so let's move this aside. So we have these two parameters new, health and stamina value. So how does that tie in? Well, this is how it ties in. I'm using it in VHUD controller, right? And all I've done is CC is the third person character controller, right? The VHUD controller already has an instance. I believe it already has an instance gathered from something. So here's your CC, and what you're going to do is you're going to tie into this on change health and on stamina change. They're already part of the third person character controller, and add listeners your own functions. Alright, so for the health changed value, this is just the damage image. The damage image is that border, that red death border, and the value is what's coming in as your health, and that's going to be a value between 0 and 100. Okay, I've got this remap value, or this remap function here. I can show you that later. You can get it off the web. It's pretty straightforward. And what I want to do is go from 100 to 0, or no, I want to go from 0 to 100. You get, again, it's safest to get your max health from the character controller. And then revert, because I'm using the alpha value, invert, instead of going from 0 to 2, I'm going from 2 to 0. I want 2 to be my greatest alpha color instead of just 1. 1 was kind of dim, so I boosted that up to 1 to really make the red pop. Got my alpha and changed the color of the border that way. Alright, I think that's already part of the code. Anyway, here's what you add for this health changed function that you're writing. Value that you're coming in, like I said, is value between 1 and max health in your character controller that you've defined. Mine is just simply 100. Alright, so you divide out your value based on that, because we are going to be working between the values 0 and 1, which is why I said it was important that your run injured be at value 0. Alright, because at 0 health, you want to be injured. Alright, so I'll explain this also. If you want, all you really need to do is do CC animator set float health value, and you're done. That's it. If you want to do what I've done here, I'll kind of explain it. I'll explain it. I didn't want to update the animator every time there was a health value change or a stamina value change. I like to optimize wherever I can. So as the comments say, I only wanted to update the animator every so often. In this case, it's every 20 frames or every 20 changes. Otherwise, it's besides that, it's negligible. It's not really noticeable to the user. So I record the last time I spit it out to the controller. All right, subtract that, take the absolute value, and I noticed if it's 1/20th the value of my last value, save it off, and I set the animator to the next value. So every 1/20th of a change is going to go out to the animator. All right, so, and then here is just to make sure that I set my value in my stamina and my health value to an absolute value of 1, right? So if that's not the case, and the value that I've gotten in is greater than or equal to 1, meaning my health is to the max, but I have not updated my last health step yet, go ahead and set up my last health step value. All right, this should never be greater than 1. Stamina is the same thing. As you can see, it's exactly the same. It's just a little faster because you can notice it. Is that one? Yeah, I think that's right. So that when you're standing there idling, it's more noticeable. So I just changed the update rate. Yeah, and that's it. So all you're doing is introducing some new, 2 new parameters, blending based on those parameters, and just setting them here. Two if statements, and that's it. Make sure you add the make sure you add them as listeners, and yeah, hopefully you can get some great results with this too. Let me know what you think. All right, later.